Okay, welcome to our weekly team call, you guys. This is our last call of May. This month has flown by, but it also feels like a long month. Like, I just can't believe how much everything is going on, how fast it's going by, but also looking at the calendar, it felt like a long month. Anyways, okay, first I want to start by recognizing Teresa, who got to Emerald in the Emerald Dash that we hosted this week and signed up her husband and her dad. And I don't know if you guys have seen her like Instagram stories. She's adorable. She always shares about her family working out with her, and her dad does all the workouts with her, and it's the coolest thing ever, and I love it. So I'm really proud of her for making it to Emerald. And then when she's at Success Club 4, so when she locks in Success Club in the next few days, she's going to qualify for customer leads. And yeah, so I'm excited. And now let's go to Success Club. And I had to do 2 boards because we have so many people in Success Club. So in Success Club 10, we have Amber leading the pack at Success Club 45. We have Jacqueline at Success Club 30. We have myself at Success Club 22. We have another Caitlin Moreno at Success Club 14. We have Loea at Success Club 14. We have Josie, Success Club 6. Another Caitlin, so many Caitlin, Success Club 6. Kelsey, Success Club 6. Abby, Success Club 6. Denise, Success Club 6. Jacqueline, Christine at Success Club 6. Sammy at Success Club 6. Tiffany at Success Club 6. And Mary at Success Club 6. And then all the people who are so close right now. Okay, in Success Club 4, we have Teresa, Success Club 4, Kayla, Success Club 4, Nicole, Success Club 4, Katie, Success Club 4, Lydia, Success Club 4, Rachel, Success Club 4, Madison, Success Club 4, Heather, Success Club 4, Gina, Success Club 4, and then everybody at Success Club 2. We have Carly, Rochelle, Katrine, Amanda, Brittany, Michael, Leah, Brandy, Valerie, Alicia, Jacqueline, Katie, Eden. Actually, Jacqueline might be on there twice now. Laura, Cass, Maria, Liza, and Jennifer. And then look at all of the Emerald coaches on the team. Holy crap, you guys. We also have our Star Diamonds, myself and Amber. We have Diamonds, Jacqueline, and my second CBC. And then all of the Emerald coaches. I think there's some feedback. I need to mute everybody really quick. Hold on. Okay. Wait, no, not what I wanted to do. Okay. Are you guys hearing feedback, or is it just me?
Yeah, I hear it too.
I don't know what's happening. Now I don't hear it. That's weird. Okay, so for Emerald coaches, we have Teresa, Eden, Kelsey, Cass, Abby, Katie, Mary, Katie, Amanda, Kayla, Caitlin, Wendy, Loea, Madison, Taryn, Jennifer, Era, Denise, Michelle, Amanda, Jacqueline, Josie, Alicia, Lydia, and Tiffany. And I realized there were some spelling errors in there, but I threw that up really quickly, so I apologize. Okay, and next we have our Diamond Watch. So Caitlin is super close to Diamond. Oh my gosh, when I was updating this, look at this girl. And what's crazy about this, so Caitlin is actually Eden's personally sponsored coach. So when Eden goes Diamond, Caitlin's going to go Diamond any day. Like the Diamond group is going to start on Monday. And then, so that's really exciting. And I definitely know these girls are all going to go Diamond during the next 30 days with this Diamond group. But once Caitlin goes Diamond and then Eden goes Diamond, they're going to start 1-star qual, which is crazy because Eden's going to go from Emerald to straight to 1-star qual. So that's really exciting. And then we also have Katie and Kelsey on my team who are super close as well. Then for Team TCB, we have Mary, Amanda, Loea, who is super close, 3 coaches away. Oh my gosh. And she's 38 weeks pregnant. It'll be so fun, like watching her go Diamond and then celebrating a baby. So cool. Shout out to her for busting her ass being super pregnant, because it's not easy being that pregnant and working and showing up every day. Then we have Caitlin and Kayla, and then I don't know why Slay at Home, why this is so small right now. We have Michelle, Lydia, and Josie. I need to fix that. I don't know why. Weird errors. Okay, so for tonight's team call, especially since we have a lot of newer coaches on the call, I wanted to talk about social media content and marketing and just branding yourself, because I know a lot of the times we forget, especially as new coaches, like you're just learning, you're just figuring out social media. Hold on. And we're just learning, you're just learning social media. But one thing that's really important to know from the beginning is that your social media is your business. And I like to use the analogy that I made a few years ago. Your social media is your storefront. And so that is how you're going to make your first impression. Think about when you're walking by a store and you see what they have on a window display. That is your social media. And invites are like the behind the scenes, behind the counter invitation to get people in. But it's really important that you have a very cohesive, visually appealing social media. But if you don't, and you're just starting and you're struggling with what to post and how to take photos and all of those things, know that we all start somewhere. My social media was horrible when I first got started, and you just have to be willing to learn and get outside of your comfort zone and be willing also to critique yourself. And I think that's the hardest part too, is like looking at what we're posting and be like, okay, how can I make this better? And I will just say, because I was talking to some of my coaches in our chat yesterday about this, it like Kelsey, I don't know if she's on this call, was saying that, oh, she is, she like doesn't feel like, she feels awkward. Sorry, I'm calling you out, but I'm saying this because I felt the same way. You know, you feel awkward in selfies, you feel just like you're not into taking a bunch of photos, or you're struggling. And I totally relate to that. And there are so many days that I do not want to take a photo either. Like I'm not feeling it. I feel really awkward, or I take a bunch of selfies and I don't. But the thing is, like, our social media is our business. So it's okay to practice. Like literally, you guys, when I take a selfie for the gram, I have so many. I take so many at a time, and then I pick like 2 that I like and I edit them, and then I decide with that. And it's just something that takes time to like figure out and to learn like how to use angles. But the cool thing is, Katie, I'm not sure, I see her on here, she shared this like TikTok person in our like group chat, and she like shows poses. So there's so many ways to like learn how to do this. And my Instagram, on my saved post, on my saved folders, I have like post inspo and I have pose inspo. So when I'm like, I don't know how to pose, I don't know what I want to talk about, I don't want to know, or I don't know, I go to that folder to like get inspiration to try to do it. Like half the reason why I'm dressed cute, no, let's be honest, 100% of the reason why I dress cute tonight is because I'm going to use it for a selfie, and I'm going to talk about, you know, feeling good for summer in shorts and a one shoulder thing. I don't even know. But, you know, like that's why I did that, because it's something that I can talk about and share. I don't know if Amber wants to share.
Oh, do I? Just kidding.
I totally forgot. I passed over what you were going to talk about too with the Josh Coates thing.
Oh, no, that's okay. It all bleeds in together. It's all like the same thing. So like, I remember the first time I heard that your social media is your storefront, I was like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense, because you can't really invite to something that you're not talking about. And the way that you're going to create trust and create, you know, people wanting to join you is that consistency. And I've been talking about that. Like, I know that I've been consistent from the beginning. And even though Kate says, you know, make sure your storefront looks good and like practice and look for inspo, I don't think anyone should let that like keep them from trying. Like you learn by doing. And so like Kate said, like we both posted not cute stuff in the beginning, and like I learned through doing. I couldn't, like, there's no way you can wait until you have the perfect social media or the perfect like everything or the perfect transformation. Like you have to be consistent and showing up where you're at. So I'm just like a big fan of being consistent. I say that all the time. But so I'm reading this book. It's called F Leadership by Josh Coates. You can get it for like shipping. It's free with shipping. So it's like $7 or whatever. And I really think that it's helping me from like build once you have a team, I feel like this is very helpful because it's talking a lot about like how to mentor, not motivate your team, and how to do things once you have a team. But there was a scenario in here that kind of made me laugh, and I thought, wow, this is such like a good story to sum up why consistency is so important. Because I think there's some people that do the activities, they do the things, they send the invites, and then they're like, well, I'm not getting the same return, so clearly it must be me, and I don't have what it takes. Okay. So he gives this little scenario, and we'll see if I can even do it. Now Violet has lots to say. But like, he talks about two people that are both in some type of sale. So we're just going to say like with Beachbody. And one is very, very gung-ho about the products and it's all about like energy. So like this, what do you want? Want this? Sorry guys. One sec, maybe if I go to a different scene, definitely putting on the TV for my kid. So there's two people, and one person, they're both like coaches, they're both using the products, they're both doing the workouts, and they're both doing their trackers, and they're both inviting 10 people a day. One is like sharing very consistently. She won't shut up about the products. She talks about them all the time. She might even be quote unquote annoying about it. But her energy is like there, and it's like on like every day. It's not all she talks about, but it's a lot of what she talks about. And then you have the other person who loves the products and does all the business activity trackers, is getting results, but feels uncomfortable talking about it quite as much. So they might lead with their kids or their pets or other things. And that's like we always say, to bring a variety, right? But like this person really only leans on that. So both people are inviting 10 people a day. And like statistically, all sales, there's a 10% closing rate. So that means that this is just across the board. This is like most people can agree. So out of every 10 people you talk to, one person's gonna sign up. So, and that has nothing to do with how good you are, okay? This is just like you talk to 10 people, one person signs up. So you send 10 messages, right? You get 6 people that ignore you. I hope this also makes you feel better, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I get ghosted. Well, that you're supposed to. So 6 people are not gonna answer you. They're gonna leave you on red. They're gonna ignore it. You get 2 people that are like, no, thank you, not for me. And then you get 2 that are interested, and then 1 follow through and 1 purchases. So if you're doing that every single day, both the girls are, like one girl's doing it and she's all excited and she's bringing energy every single day. The other one is doing it, but her energy's not quite matching. Like her storefront isn't quite the same. She's not quite as like excited about it. And like I said, maybe the other girl's a little annoying about it. So then you've got those, but then you have like those 4 people that showed you got the 2 people that showed interest, and then you've got the 6 people that ignored you. But what happens is those 6 people, you still planted a seed, and they're still going to hopefully not unfollow you, and they're still going to be showing, like seeing what you're up to. And it's kind of like that thing when you're buying a car. Maybe Kayla can relate because she just bought a car. When you're like thinking about buying a car, you start seeing the car everywhere. Okay, so like this is just how it works. Like you guys know, like when you start thinking about something, you start seeing it places, you start seeing Beachbody in commercials. So these 6 people that ghosted the first girl that was like, a little annoying, but posting a lot about it, it's like in their head, they're thinking about it. So the closing rate long term, like if you're doing 10 a day and only 1 person is going to say yes, like eventually a lot more of those people are going to come back around because something's going to change in their life, or something's going to happen where they're going to be like, oh yeah, that girl. And that girl that's like posting a lot and is annoying, sure, she's going to get haters. Whatever, she's still closing more people and she's still helping more people. And then with helping more people becomes more energy, more excitement, and like more confidence. So, and then the girl that was only posting about her like, pets and children, she like finally shows she's doing the same amount of invites. So she's got the same 10% sign up percentage. So she gets that 1 person, but then she doesn't have the same long-term follow through. She doesn't have the same amount of people that like want to come back around because they don't see that consistency or that energy from her. And then the second it gets hard for that 1 customer who like that she did sign up, that maybe has like an issue where their car breaks down and they have to make a return. They don't even know that she has a coaching opportunity. They don't even know that that's something they can do. So they return it or they quit. And then now this girl's like, cool, well, my one customer didn't want to do it, so it must be me. And so their lack of energy then means they post even less. I see it happening. I've seen it happen to people on our team. Well, I'm doing the things, but they're not doing it consistently enough, and they're not bringing the energy. I know for a fact that I have a lot of energy and passion around these programs, and I don't let up. And I know that Jacqueline has had a lot of success because of her energy and like her consistency and her results. And I'm not saying you have to have like amazing, results, but I think it's the energy to it. And just so that helped me, because I realized like we're all going to get 6 people that ghost us. We're all going to get 2 people that are like, no, thank you, but they're going to continue to watch. And you're going to get that one person that signs up. But think about long term if you're doing that every day. And I just wanted to share that because I just think like it's where a lot of people are missing the mark. Like, well, I'm doing the programs and I'm inviting, but it's not actually consistent enough. And it's not, Madison's not on this call, but she hasn't posted or done shit all month. And she knows because I'm calling her out on it. And she decided to like show up, and now she's at Success Club 4 in like 2 days because she tried. So like, I know that not posting is death for your business. And I know that people are like, well, I don't want to like be a slave to posting. Well, do you want to build a business that creates freedom and income? Because you kind of have to get over it, and you kind of have to just post anyways. And I don't post every single day, but I make sure that I show up in some way every single day. So I just wanted to say that.
And just like, if you even think about it, if somebody's talking on their stories about it, and we talk about this, like when we were talking about the flash sale or in Coach Sneak Peeks, like you want to show excitement. If somebody going to sign up with somebody who's like, yeah, I drink this shake, I do these workouts, they work, like, look at my results. Or somebody who's going to be like, you guys, I need to tell you about this thing that is changing my life. It feels so good. I feel so good. These workouts are 30 minutes a day. Like the energy, it's like night and day. And sometimes it just takes getting, again, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable getting uncomfortable. And there are definitely days where I don't want to talk on my stories. And even 7 years in, like talking, going live in groups, doing whatever, like sometimes my anxiety is just high and I feel awkward and whatever, but people need that connection to you. People need to see that you're a real person, and that's how your social media does that. And so what I was trying to say earlier, I realized being distracted by Rowan, it wasn't coming across right. You have to just like, you want to be doing all the things. You don't, again, like Amber said, you don't need a successful social media or like to know all the things about social media to have a successful business. There is a 10-star coach I was just on one of my like 2 to 4-star calls with, and she literally has like no social media. That's not how she built her business. She built her business with in-person conversation. She's a fitness instructor. And now that because of COVID, she's like, okay, now I'm switching back and I'm growing my social media again. Like I'm trying to and posting more, but that's not how she built her business. But like long-term, it helps to know how to grow it and how to like work on sharing what you're showing and showing your brand and who you are. And so going back to the branding topic, I think a lot of the times when new coaches sign up, they're worried because they don't want to have their followers now see their Beachbody life because they think they're going to be scammy, or they think they're going to spam people with it. And so they're like, oh, I need to make a separate account, or I need to do this and this, or like I need to make it harder on myself. But people want to see your lifestyle. People want to see you. People want to relate to you. And it's also like a disservice to them by telling the people who are already following you, like it's a disservice to them not telling them what you're doing. The people who are already following you, the people in your life, like if you're not inviting those people, it's a disservice because this is changing your life. Why wouldn't you want to invite somebody to something that's changing your life? And the reality is, and I've seen this happen before, if you don't talk about it to them, somebody else will. And they'll be like, oh, my friend, Amber, I see her, like occasionally I know she's doing this Beachbody thing. I know she's getting good results, but I was invited by this other person who actually like invited me and talked about it, I'm going to go with them, because Amber probably doesn't like want me on her, like what doesn't want to work with me, or I don't know that I can join with her. So like, it's very important to know, for people to know that you're a coach and that you can help them. Like Amy was talking about in the Set Your Soul on Fire call, you should be able to have some sort of transformation within like scrolling your page within the first like 2 seconds to be able to tell. But it's just really like, you need to make it clear, and it shouldn't be all Beachbody all the time. It needs to be a lifestyle. So that's when you're going back to your brand, it's finding things besides Beachbody that make you you. So I'd love to see in the comment thread or in the chat, everybody post like 2 things outside of coaching that makes you you. Like, what are hobbies? What are you, a mom? So I'm a new mom, so that's part of my brand. And Jacqueline Pizza and Kids. This is true. She has a lot of pizza stuff, you know, but it works. It works. So, you know, like finding those things before it was, for me, I liked the outdoors and I was hiking all the time. Eventually I'll do that again. So that was part of it. Fur babies and family, photography and art culture, or art curator. Okay. Being a mama, having too many dogs and food, photography and fur babies, pregnant at the moment and food, love to cook, literally except fitness and momming. No, fitness, corgi, curly hair, mom, my cat snacking. Okay. Amber's clothes and family, not Amber. I mean, you are Amber. Being a goof. Okay, high vibing cat lady, Kirby girl fitness, loving your body and getting fit, fur babies. We all have fur babies apparently. House, do it yourself. So all of these things are things you want to be sharing on your feed, because those are the ways you're going to relate to people. Those are your connection points. And those are also how you're going to find new people and find your people. And I say your people very clearly, because when I first started coaching, it was so funny. I was so nervous. Again, my whole family told me not to do it. And then when I like finally came out to them, I signed up like a week or 2 before I told them about it, because I was so nervous about their reaction. And then my sister's like, oh, your grammar sucks. My family is like grammar Nazis. My brother, my sister, they drive me crazy. They're the people who will text you like, no, you are apostrophe, whatever. I'm like, leave me alone. That's not my life. But my sister was like, I have to edit all of your posts before you post them, because it's a business and you need to sound like a business person and you should post like this, like you. And I was like, okay. And so I was trying to be this person that I thought I needed to be in order to be a coach. And the first few people who like I worked with, like when we actually started talking, I added grammar errors, or like I wasn't being the person that I was in my post. It was really awkward. Those weren't my people. Now, you know, like, it's really important to know who you are and share that on social media, because your social media should read like a diary. Like, I know Amy said it about Amber. It's like a reality show. Like, she shares it all, and I'm trying to be better about sharing it all. But like, that's what people go to your page for. Like, I realized recently, talking more on my stories, people like to see my mom life struggles. People like to see Rowan like pulling my hair or not napping, and people like to see whatever it is that I'm talking about that's besides just fitness, because that's something that they can relate to me about that. And that starts other conversations with them, which can also lead to an invite. But as far as like posting what those things, like, it's also being mindful of like, okay, how am I going to share these things? How am I going to share my food today? And it's so funny, because I used to love taking pictures of my food, and I eventually probably will again. It's just a lot of work to like curate a bowl to make it look pretty, roasting all the vegetables. Right now it's too fucking hot to do that. But I would just like meal prep and put everything in a pretty bowl, and then go stand outside and take a picture, because it has natural lighting, and that's better picture than posting it just like inside on, I have like ugly plates. I don't know if anybody else has like plates that are like ugly. I have ugly plates. Can anybody relate to this? I literally bought like 5 pretty plates a few years ago, like pretty bowls, because I looked at like food influencers, like the foodies on Instagram, and I was like, okay, they all post really pretty bowls. So I went to like Crate and Barrel online, and like then I would look for like Amazon dupes, or I just bought a couple. And so I bought like prettier plates and prettier bowls for my Instagram post. I'm just telling you, this is what I did, because like people don't want to see my cracked plate. I mean, maybe they do. Or the things that are like I got from Goodwill forever ago. That's just reality. But so it's like being mindful because you want your photos to be pretty, like being mindful of things like that, little tweaks that you could make. And it's not big tweaks. I'm not telling you to go buy like all new dishes. Buy maybe one pretty plate. Like if you go to my food post, if you scroll back, I had one bowl that I like recycled all the time. And people probably thought I had a billion of them. I had one. Just so you know. And being mindful of things like natural lighting. Also, I mean, the selfie camera on the newer iPhones is really good, but even better, like take a photo, like use a tripod or set your phone up against something and take a photo with like the real lens on your camera phone, because that takes better quality photo. Having photos that are less grainy and not super dirty mirror selfies all the time. Like I have dirty mirror selfies, but like being aware of the majority of what you post and being better about that type of thing. I don't know if that's making any sense. I went off on a rant.
No, that makes sense. I just have white. I just got like a white plate. I have like one nice white plate. And I'll be like, this is gonna be the one I'll take a picture on. But I wanted to say that something that you said earlier about people being I forget what you were talking about, but I know that when in the beginning, when I was like, okay, how am I going to be me, but also weave in Beachbody? There's no way to avoid having someone judge you and like hate on you. But I think it's been worth it because I've been able to build a business and meet amazing people. And so those few people that hated on it along the way are really don't matter compared to like, so, you know, what's come out of it. But I will say that I look to people that I inspired, like, or inspired me, sorry, like on the team. Like I looked to Amy and, well, Kate too, but I looked to Amy and Meredith, other like people in our upline that I thought were just like doing a really good job. Like I just liked their feed, and you'll know, like, I'm not saying go copy someone, but like you'll know like on your social media what speaks to you and what you think is pretty. And if you think about how you're here right now, you're here because you saw something on social media. And maybe you judged a little bit. I know my Caitlin judged me a little bit for a while because we go way back. And that's okay. Because I think sometimes when people aren't ready to make a change, it's easy to be like, oh, they're so annoying. They're so happy it's annoying me. So, but like, oh my gosh, I had a brain fart. But like, think about how you got here and think about what, you know, you saw whoever your coach is posting. And because a lot of times people will be like, well, I don't want to be salesy. And then I'll be like, did you think I sold to you? Like, did you think that I was inauthentic or creepy or salesy to you? And usually they're like, no, you know, I'm like, okay, well then you got to find, you know, your way to do that. But I just made sure to just be me and authentic. And over the years, there has been some times where I've like, you know, kind of closed my, like tried to dim down the version of me to try to like appeal to people. And it's never a good idea. I think it's way better to just be you. I did like a tough love video on my IG yesterday, and I was actually nervous to post it because like I literally call people toddlers. I'm like, stop being a toddler and like being a baby about like not wanting to work out. And I actually had a girl reach out to me that was like, no, I like needed that. And I was like, all right, cool. Like more confirmation that I just need to be like me. And even if I think I'm being like mean or too much, it's like me. And I will also say that last thing, I know I'm talking a lot. I had some coffee. But I know people think I share a lot, and I do because I'm on my story throughout the day, but there's so much I don't talk about, you guys. Like just between us, like for the 5th time in the last couple of months, Fisher's dad is in alcohol detox again. And I can't talk about it because I'm not going to disrespect him, but like I'm going through stuff, you know, like there's things happening in my life that I don't talk about. And I just focus on what I can control, which is my workouts, my nutrition, what I can do for the team, and how I can show up. So I just want you guys to know that it's not about being fake. I'm not being fake about it. I'm just not, you know, it doesn't mean I go crawl in a hole and don't do anything. I actually, this kind of stuff makes me want, like pushes me to work harder because I'm like, I gotta like be the strong one. I gotta be the supportive one. So just wanted to share that because I think a lot of people are like, I know everything about you. And I'm like, no, you don't.
And I think people are like, well, I can't, my significant other so-and-so doesn't want me to share this about their life. Like, then don't freaking share it. You can share so many other things. I had a conversation with Rowan's dad before. Like, he is very anti-social media. He's a cop, he's in the army, he's very private. He like he straight up said, like, please don't talk. Please don't have me on any of your stuff. Don't post any pictures of me. Don't talk about me on your stories. I was like, that's totally fine. I completely respect that. And so I don't, like, people will ask me, but I just ignore them most of the time. I'm like, he's private. I'm respecting his thing. Like, have those conversations with the people, but like, don't shy around sharing your life just because it might offend somebody. I talk about how my parents have an alcoholic past, and like my family struggles with it. It upsets my brother and my sister. That's just the reality. When I share that, they don't like that I share that, we were homeless at one point, or we lived in my dad's truck. Like, that really embarrasses them. They want people to think better of them. But I'm like, that's my story. And I had the conversation with my parents, and they understand why I'm sharing it. But know that, like, your social media isn't meant to please other people. It's supposed to be you. It's supposed to be like your reflection of yourself, and you get to share your struggles, and you get to share what you want. First of all, you get to share what you want 100%. Like, I'm not telling you to share your deepest, darkest secrets on social media, but if you have something that you've struggled with, like, I've been able to take a lot of my story, things like my own drug abuse when I was younger, shoplifting, struggling with being homeless when I was in high school with my parents, like that, and things that I was really embarrassed about, and turn them into a message to empower and inspire other women. And I also get to share how far I came and like where I am now. And like, again, it makes my family upset when I talk about this stuff. It also makes my family upset when I swear on my Instagram. But again, I'm not trying to attract those people. I'm not trying to attract my family to my business. That's not my target market. When you're posting, when you're talking on your stories, think about the person that you want to attract. And I want to attract more Caitlyns. I want to attract more Caitlyns who want to work hard and want to create a dream life and want to provide for their babies, and or fur babies, and want to travel and don't want to necessarily be their own boss. Like, think about that person. And what I also, like what Amber was saying earlier, like, what brought you to your coach? Like, think about that when you're sharing too, because a lot of like how you were recruited, whether it was to a challenge group, to coaching, like what you needed to see that brought you here, that's what you should be sharing too, because that is what is relatable, and that is going to speak to the person who is similar to you. I don't know. I want to call out Jacqueline really quick, because she barely posted. I think when she first started, she was like, you guys, I post like maybe once a week, once a month. Like, it was very little, to now but also the quality of your photos have gotten significantly better. You're posting every day, almost every day now, and you're on your stories all the time. But I think your social media has done a really big glow up, and not just because your transformations get shared, but like the quality of your photos have gotten better. But that being said, like, you, even before, when you just started and you were only posting like once a week, you were still hitting those numbers. You just started. You weren't trying to be perfect. You were sharing. And I think that's what we aim for you guys to do, is like learn as you go and as you grow, but like, don't let it hold you back. So I don't know if Jacqueline has any tips she wants to share.
Yeah, I used to post like bi-weekly, and I messaged Amber like, I think it was like 6 months ago. I vividly remember messaging her this. I was like, I don't know what to post. I was like, I never post. I don't know what to do. And she was like, she told me that when she first started, Kate, you told her to post like once or twice a day, and then like revolving, like sharing like your personal life, your coaching, and then like your own personal progress, like workouts. And I was like, all right, so I'll try that. But I've always like been up in my stories. Like, that's never been a problem for me. Hard posts were always like my issue, because I didn't know, like, I didn't want to take a selfie. I didn't want to take a picture of my food. Like, I don't like just taking pictures and then writing a comment about it. So that was my issue. But I think the biggest like reason why I even have like people reaching out to me in general is because I've always been in my stories. Like, and then when I wasn't using Instagram stories before that, I was like huge with Snapchat. Like, I loved Snapchat. So like, that was my thing. But lately I have been like, I got a better phone. I got the new iPhone. I have a Canon camera. So I've been using like my Canon to take my pictures. Like I'll set it up and I'll record a video and I'll just do like different poses or whatever, and then I'll upload it to my computer and I'll screenshot whatever I like, set like airdrop it to my phone, and then I've been using Lightroom for like presets. And then I actually have been having my coaches do this, and I think it's working really well. We'll find like an influencer with like millions of followers and pick for the week like a couple pictures that we'd like to potentially recreate. And then we have like a list of like different topics to talk about during the week. So there's stuff like, you know, my transformation story, like creating healthy habits. This is just like a graphic that I found in the Boss Babes thing. It's like every day there's something different to talk about, like my life before Beachbody, like something that I struggled with today, like what sort of personal development am I reading? What are my morning routines? It's just things that like topics that you can pick to talk about. And I've been doing this every single day. And I took this note from Amy. I'll just take a really pretty picture and then talk about something completely unrelated. Because like people are just going to see the picture, click like, and then the people that like truly do give a crap are probably going to read the caption. And I've been seeing like a lot of like people actually messaging me like, hey, I really liked what you said today about like, you know, how you've been changing your habits, or like people messaging me like, I didn't realize I should be drinking that much water. Just like random things, and turning it into like turning it into like me and like my shit. And it's funny because like what you said about like finding your people, some woman today literally messaged me and she's like, hey, I'm also a mom and I also love pizza, but I eat way too much of it. Like, is there anything that you could tell me, like any tips you can give me? She's like, I really like have been struggling with like portions. And I was like, why, yes, actually, what is your email? I will send you some information. So now we're chatting. So I just like really have been enjoying like my social media overhaul, because I've been getting like so much more people like just talking to me, and like many more comments and many more like just randomly now, like so much more followers. And I think it's like really because I did have like an Instagram glow up and I'm enjoying it. I totally suggest, like, if you don't know what to post, because I do not know, I hate taking pictures of myself, go find like some really inspiring influencer, like doesn't necessarily have to be fitness. Like this girl that I follow, she's got like millions of followers. She's just like this really pretty, like Barbie looking girl. And like, I love the clothes that she wears. I love how she does her makeup. I love her poses, and her captions are bullshit. It's literally like a picture of herself like, oh, I had fun in New Zealand today. And I'm like, but I love that pose. So I'll screenshot it and then I'll just recreate it, and then I'll talk about like my coaching stuff. Like I'll put my spin on it, but just recreate the picture because it's so pretty.
That's 100% what I do too. And totally, if you guys look at my recent Instagram post, and it's on Facebook too, it's like this like squatting, and I don't even know, I don't squat, but I wasn't doing a crotch shot. Anyways, I literally did it in the parking lot of my apartment. And all my neighbors, like so many neighbors walked out and saw it. It was real awkward. I had my tripod out there. Rowan was napping in the house. I was like looking at the baby cam, but like my first neighbor was like an older male who like came out and was like, hi, yeah, my motorcycle just got stolen at my job or whatever. And I'm like, you're trying to talk to me and I'm doing this and whatever. But like, and I got weird looks, and honestly, I've been caught doing some weird photos around my apartment complex by my neighbors. How I think about it though, one is, again, I was looking for like pose inspo from other people, influencers who I liked, who I saw, and I was like, I'm going to try to recreate the photo, and I'm going to try to recreate this. But, and and Amber knows this because we've been together so many times and like taking photos, taking selfies in front of walls with people walking by and getting weird looks. But I always think about it this way, like, they're not going to be the ones liking my photos. So don't like give a shit. Like, they're not following me. They don't like my photos. They're not the ones who are going to join my challenge groups. Like, those aren't the people I'm trying to reach. So I don't really care at the end of the day. Like, yes, I look like an idiot to them, most likely, squatting to take this photo a bunch of different ways, trying to like do this, hitting, doing all the things. But again, I used it to talk about whatever I talked about, feeling stronger in my program. And it was like a good angle. And so, you know what, like, you just do, I say this all the time to my challengers, and whatever, you do what you have to do to get it done. But it's the same with this business and this photos. Like, you can't care what other people think. Like, just take the damn selfie, take the photo.
I want to add that in many times that I've been with Kate and we're like doing a selfie, someone's always like, can I take a picture? And we're like, no, we got it. Leave us alone. We're trying to do a thing here.
They don't know your angles.
We're like,
Yeah, it's always really awkward because people like smile or like give you weird looks. In my neighbor who decided to strike up a conversation with me, and I'm like, sorry, I'm being awkward. And he like completely ignored it and just kept going. So anyways, it's just about like having fun with it and being silly and like not trying to be perfect, because you're just gonna learn. Like, don't freak yourself out and get into analysis paralysis and be like, I can't post this because Kate said I need to post something pretty that's not grainy and whatever. If that's what you have to share for the day, share it. Like, you should be sharing almost every day. I would say like set a goal of sharing like 5 times a week. I think that's a solid number, especially if you're just getting started. But like being on your feed, because that's what people need to see. They need, like, you can't be annoying about it, because with the algorithm and how things work, like people, unless they're really stalking your shit, like, oh my gosh, I have to look at their post every single day, they're not going to see it unless they're going to your page to look at it, because the algorithm, like people's feed who I want to see and look at, I normally don't see in my feed. So I like go search, look. So you're not going to be annoying people, but you need to like show up. And again, if somebody does make a comment, because I had people make comments when I started, be like, oh, she just posts about fitness all the time now. How funny. She wasn't that fit girl. You were the girl who ate a bunch of Pop-Tarts. And I'm like, in high school, I ate a bunch of Pop-Tarts. So somebody was like, that's so funny. I just remember you eating all the Pop-Tarts, like that you're into fitness now and that you're sharing all about Shakeology, because, that's not who you were. And I had somebody else tell me that I was annoying. And it was like a friend. It was a friend too. It was like, you're just like really posting a lot about this. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, it hurt my feelings for a second. And then I got a message from one of my challengers saying like, thank you for inviting me because I'm down a pant size or something. And then I got over it, because again, it's not like, it's getting over what other people think, because those aren't necessarily people who you want to work with and the people who are going to join you. And nobody's going to criticize you who's doing better than you. Nobody who is working, like I shared this in the team page the other day on my team page, and I said, like the reality is if somebody's working harder than you, they're not going to stop to criticize you. The people who like you want to be, the people who you want to surround yourself with, are the people hustling and the people who are going to support you, not the people who tear you down. Like, those people aren't, like, they have their own insecurities. That says more about them than it does about you.
yes, and they'll try to mask it like they're care about you, but really, it's not about you. It's about them and their insecurities.
I think that's like really important, especially when you get haters on your social media, because that will happen. Like Amber said, like, again, you always have to remember, one, you have the power to like delete and block. And I really don't react 99% of the time. I just delete and block. I don't even like want to deal with it. It's not worth your energy. But it's important to remember that like that says more about their insecurities than like what you're doing and how you're showing up. So be proud of like what you're sharing and what you have to offer, and share yourself, share your journey. People also, big tip here, people want to see your face. So that's why we're talking about selfies all the time. Like, people want to see your body, and don't just share your selfie. Like, people relate to seeing your whole body because that's their body type. If they can be like, oh, you're a similar body type to me, that's motivating to me to see you getting those results because I have a similar body type. Like, that's something that I've heard so many times. People want to see your body. People want to see your face. That's how they're going to relate to you. So when you're on your feed, like showing that, I've talked about this, like I've heard somebody said, well, isn't it a little narcissistic to post so many selfies? The shit that I've heard over the years. And I'm like, maybe that's nice. That's cool. If you think that, you don't have to follow me. But bye. But, you know, it's just like, again, you're sharing your story. Like Jacqueline said, how she's putting a pretty picture and sharing something about changing her habits or like she's telling a story. And that's what's going to relate to people, not necessarily sharing a picture of the program or sharing a picture of your shake. They want to hear about how the shake that you're drinking is helping you curb your cravings and making you feel really good and helping your digestion. People love talking about poop. You know, like share things that matter. So yeah, it's a blog basically. That's what your social media should be like. It should read like a blog, a storytelling blog. And so if you're struggling with what to post to, as far as like what to talk about, have a brain dump, like write out a bunch of stuff on a piece of paper. I like to say, if you're struggling with talking about coaching, make a list of 10 to 20 ways coaching has changed your life. If you're brand new, make it a list of 10. If you're been a while, make a list of 20 and like, be like, you know, it's my job to be fit. I have this awesome community. You know, I get to invest in my health as part of my job. I have the opportunity to earn free trips, like whatever the list. I have girlfriends now that like inspire me. Make a list of like 10 to 20 things that coaching has changed your life. And then other things, like talk about things on your fitness journey, things that you've struggled with. I know things that I've shared about before is like getting my picture taken. I used to hate it. And I used to be really uncomfortable, but like sharing that now, you know, I feel better in front of a camera, or sharing about mom struggles or whatever, like the things that fit your brand and the things you want to talk about, like just brain dump. And like Jacqueline said, have a format. And maybe can you share that in the team page again? I know you shared it before, but after the call.
Yeah, like the Instagram like schedule. I want to read like a couple ideas for you guys for posts. Can I read them real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously June's coming up, so you could take a pretty picture of yourself or whatever and then write out what your goals for June are. For a Transformation Tuesday post, you could write, like take a before after picture and write about how you felt last summer compared to how you're feeling this summer. You can take a pretty picture of yourself and shout out somebody in your challenge group and just talk about them. You don't necessarily have to post their picture. I know I do not post pictures of other people on my account. I mean, that's just my preference. It's totally up to you. I see a lot of coaches that do that and get like really good feedback about it. I just don't prefer not to for myself. You can ask your audience, what would you do if you knew that you could not fail? Try to do a TikTok and share it on your feed. How do you prepare for the week? Address an objection that you've heard recently, which I'm going to do this probably next week. I'm going to talk about people wanting free handouts all the time, which, I mean, I do free challenges like all the time, but at the same time, like I hear, but is it free all the time? And like, I think that you should invest in yourself. Like I'm very big on that. So I'm going to talk about that. How has your mindset shifted? Share a smoothie recipe, share a takeaway from your personal development. Like there's just so many things that you could talk about that are literally related to your job right now. But I found like in the Boss Babes Mastermind group, it's literally like it says June 2020 posting ideas and it goes like day to day. So like if you're not in that group, you should be in it. But there is something for every single day. And I've kind of like been following this, like I'll pick and post things, but yeah, I think that this thing is like absolutely amazing and it's really helped me in the past few weeks, like get my shit together with my Instagram. But yeah, I'll share this and then I'll share the Canva thing that I made. We should have like a posting challenge for like the first week of June.
I love
for
that
ourselves.
idea.
What do you think? Let's do it. Let's group chat about it.
Yeah. Let's group chat about it. I love that idea. I think it'll be fun to get you out of your comfort zone, especially for people who are struggling with posts. And I will even say, like, I put on this outfit and I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to share probably how I want to. I'm going to take what Jacqueline just said and say, you know, I'm going to feel good in my shorts this summer. I didn't think I'd feel this good almost 9 months postpartum going into summer rocking shorts. But like, there are so many days where I'm just like, I don't want to post. I don't have nothing to talk about. But then this is why I also have on my Instagram, I have that little folder, that nifty little saved folder. I've got so many, I don't know if you guys can see, I've got so many folders on here. I have recipes, but like Post Inspo. I'll go to the Post Inspo. That's not that. I'll go to the Post Inspo and I'll just scroll through and read. And I'm like, okay, what is something that I can take from any one of these and I can speak on? I can recreate it and make it my own. Also, I have a folder for like quotes. And I used to do this all the time in my like newer coach days. I would post a hiking photo or post a selfie and then, or I'd literally like do my makeup and post a quote, like an inspiring quote with it. And that was like my thing. And it was sharing something or take something from my personal development and do that too. And then talk about whatever I was talking about. But again, a lot of people like that and can relate to that, but it's just finding things and like getting over yourself a little bit. Cause some days you're like, no, I don't want to, or I don't know what to talk about. And the reality is like, some days I get it. I feel like my life is boring, but then you just look and you find something to talk about and you're like, okay, I can talk about my community. I can talk about how good I'm feeling on my nutrition. I can find like all these different things. Like you have things to talk about. You just have to get out of your head and like get into action.
I wanted to add too, because when I said the thing about Madison earlier, it's the reason why I was calling her out is because she told me she wanted to be diamond. So people tell me they've got a goal, I'm going to push them. But if you don't have goals to hit Success Club, or if this isn't relevant to you, then it's not this, this is something to strive for. But like, we're telling you guys this because we want you to see success. So if there's a day that you're just like not feeling it, I just think about like when I would go do hair, like I didn't always feel like going to work. I'm sure everyone can relate to not wanting to always go to work. You put your game face on, you go to work. But our job is pretty simple. I mean, it's just like, because all of us are doing the workouts and eating, it's not like we're all like eating pizza and lying about it. And if you do eat pizza, talk about that, talk about the balance in your life. But for me, I just think even if I'm not in the mood, I'm still going to show something that I did. And so then, I don't know, I don't feel like pressured that I'm like always on social media. And so when people say that to me, I think it's just like, well, then what are your goals? Because if your goal is to build an online business, then that is just part of what we're doing.
Denise just asked if people still post certain times a day. I used to be like really obsessive about that. And it used to be how Instagram worked and the algorithm's changing. But now, like, I'll post at like 11 o'clock at night. Like, if I can, I get a post in earlier, but if I will sometimes like lay in bed with Rowan asleep on me and get a post up then, like I'll get the content. I'm like bad about actually, I spend too much time trying to make the perfect post, like write the perfect caption or whatever, and then I get distracted. So sometimes it's later, like you can set a time for yourself, but I wouldn't get hung up on it. Like, a lot of the times I post super late now just because that's when I have a minute to like think and write it out or do it. Also, because we talked about Success Club and I meant to say this at the beginning of the call and I forgot. So I'm in this 2 to 4 star chat with other 2 to 4 star coaches in the West region. And my corporate mentor let me know this morning or yesterday, I forgot, that anybody in my downline who's currently in Success Club or is in Success Club by tomorrow morning, there is a special call you can get on. We do like Friday hot seat calls with top coaches in the network. So I have a link for you guys to join this call for everybody who is currently in Success Club, or if you lock it in by tomorrow morning, the call is at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'm going to send the call to my coaches that I know are in a Success Club. I'll send a link to Amber and Jacqueline as well. So if you are in if you're one of their coaches or in their downline, they can send it to you because we know based off who's on the boards and everything. But occasionally this happens. And last time it was just my personally sponsored coaches, but this time she opened it up to the downline. So I want to let you guys know tomorrow morning it's 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. There's 2 like top coaches speaking and it's a hot seat call. So if you have questions, you can answer or get them asked on this call. So that's a really cool thing. And a little perk for everybody being in Success Club already. But yeah, thank you guys for hopping on. I'm not sure if Amber has anything else.
I was just, I have nothing to say. I was just leaning in because I'm reading the chat.
Does anybody like want to do a Instagram post challenge? Because I will absolutely put that shit together like right now and post it.
Yeah. What do
I think it would be so fun.
how should we do it, or what do we?
So, okay, so I think this is what we should do because this is what I've been having my coaches doing and it's working so well. So pick an influencer and pick a couple pictures, screenshot them, and then recreate them in your own way, obviously, like however you want. And then I'll put like 10 topics and pick one of the topics for each of those pictures and use it as a caption. And then at the end of the week, like we'll all like screenshot, like compare and contrast like the influencer pick with our caption or whatever. I think that would be like really fun to do maybe next week, like Monday through Friday. Because that's what I do. I try to post 5 times a week.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, let's do it. It'll be fun. Hopefully people actually participate in it.
But that's the thing. Hopefully it'll get people outside their comfort zones. And when you do it, it'll help you just be more creative. It'll be like, okay, this is like getting me outside my comfort zone. It's also teaching you, like, it's just getting yourself in the practice and in the habit of that. So I think that'll be really good. And I hope everybody participates because.
Yeah, I feel like I'm learning. I said to my fiance like 3 weeks ago, I was like, I'm going to be an influencer. I'm going to be an influencer on Instagram. That's my goal. It's going to happen. And I'm like making it happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's right. He's like, I thought you already were. Yeah. Okay, thanks. I'll put it together.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I will send that link for everybody already in Success Club. And there's so many people at 4. So if you're at 4 right now and you sign somebody up, and by 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, hit up your coach, hit up me, and I will send you that link for the call. It's going to be a good call. That's a perk of also once you go like 2-star or like once you go diamond, you start working with your corporate mentor, and there's like more trainings and more calls and more fun things that you get to be a part of. So anyways, thank you guys for hopping on. I hope everybody has a good night, and I'll see you in June for our posting challenge. Whoop, whoop. Bye, guys.